trivial as it may seem, it is very important as a repair technician to know how to open a device before you're able to do any form of repair on it. So in this video, I figured I would just take you through some of the things that you should pay attention to before you start opening up a device. Because in the end of things, you want to give back the client a functioning device. So now, opening in itself is what at times we could call taking apart the phone, and at times you could call it a tear down. I don't know whether tear down is a very popular word, but I guess you get the idea. So why am I stating those two terms on top of the fact that I call it opening a phone? That's because in opening a phone, normally ride on the success of your previous predecessors or predecessors. In other words, be able to first search the internet. In other words, look for videos that show how to open some of these devices. So you will either say how to open your device, in which case the previous video we actually opened a Nokia smartphone. We did a video on how to open it. So you can say how to open Nokia G10, opening Nokia G10, or how to take apart Nokia G10, or how to tear down a Nokia G10. This is the marketing name, but then at times you may actually need to know the model. That brings us to this point. Now, you can only be able to search and know how to open a phone if you already know its model. Oh, it goes without saying that definitely you know the brand. That is to say, it is a Samsung, it is a Nokia, and then the model is what you would roughly say Nokia G10. The G10 is like the model, but then now there is that specific model. So for instance, when we look at the Nokia, this is actually Nokia G10. Nokia G10 also will be called TA1334. This is a more specific thing, but at times you may find the person who made a video on opening it didn't refer it by this, but rather referred it by that, the business or selling name for the phone. This is usually for our technical people when you're looking like for motherboards and firmwares. This is very helpful. It helps you distinguish the variants of that same G10 variant. Anyway, having said that, know the model. Now, in opening, it's almost inevitable that you'll find yourself dealing with screws. So when dealing with screws, you have to know where to find them, where are they located. At times, it's as simple as opening the back cover and then accessing it under the back cover. However, at times, some back covers are not actually accessible. They are glued into place. And therefore, you will have to figure a way of removing that back cover. Yeah, it could be glass, in which case you have to exercise care. It could be plastic. Either way, much as this needs less attention, but you have to pay attention. Now, if you have the screws under the back cover, that would mean that you will have to unglue that cover, which is either glass or plastic. Now, if it turns out to be glass, what you would do is you would use heat to loosen the heat, to soften the adhesive under. If it were plastic, you could get away by using a solvent. Same thing with here, but then at times this plastic you just have to get in between and then cut through the glue with a blade. But at times it's risky because you might cut antenna ribbons. So you have to know the art of ungluing. Practice this. In fact, watch videos of people repairing the phone to a point of putting them together. You learn a thing or two about how to deal with that device. I said all of that, and the whole point was to ensure that you take care when opening, because you're trying to avoid broken ribbons, broken glass, broken fibers, and you want the phone to come back looking good. In other words, a person can literally hold it again. Ideally, I always consider my repairs refurbishment, because when you attempt to refurbish, you are attempting to make sure that the device is as perfect as can be. Basically, that the person buying it may be able to use it for even longer than the manufacturer initially gave warranty for the device. And I think if you repair a device perfectly, it will last as long as the new device should have lasted. If you have reached this far, it's my humble request that you hit the subscribe button. We are on a journey to 1,000 subscribers, and be certain to like the video, because for that matter, it is recommended to multiple people to encourage them to look into this video. Perhaps it's what they need for their solution. But anyway, I am glad to have you here, and as usual, if you're repairing as a business, please always be open to feedback. And talking of feedback, please help me write a comment down on what you think we can improve on these tutorials. And this is actually Opioz Laboratory, with the intentions of teaching you repairs both as a hobby and as a business, to sort of inform you generally and specifically as much as we are able to. Thank you for watching, and I'll be glad to see you in subsequent videos. Ciao. See you in the repair videos.